Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Fat Katz Podcast. Co-host Ward Sewell, joined by Mr. Tropical Big Man Cam Taylor. I don't know if you can tell by some backgrounds, but one of us is in a very tropical place right now, and one of us is in Topsail Beach, North Carolina. So pick your poison. You can choose where you would rather be. But Big Dog Cam, how's the beach treating you, my friend?
Dude, it's good. I just got done with my I think it was my 36th hole of golf this week. So not gotten much better. But playing golf, sitting out here at the
Hey,
beach,
it's better,
talking
better
to
than
you.
better than working, my friend. It's the second
Yeah, that's what
second
yeah.
best thing to do outside of record this podcast. So
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm talking to you. My day just got better. I didn't know it could get better. It just did. But yeah, man, super excited to get back with you guys. Been a week, longest week of my life between podcasts. But
uh,
yeah, 56 coming up. We're super excited to get it to you guys. Before we get into it, want to remind everybody, find us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Type in the Fat Katz Podcast. Find us on Instagram and TikTok at Fat Katz Pod. Ward, how's the week going so far? I know you just got back from Dallas, man. Tell us about that.
dude, so just got back from Dallas, Texas, and one thing, Cam, we need to look into. So there is another big another big podcast platform called Google Play for all of our non-iPhone folks out there. So me and
Gotcha.
you need to put our small brains together and figure out how we can get this uploaded onto Google Play. So hopefully we are going to be on all platforms here soon. I know Amazon Prime has a Spotify platform as well. I don't know how we're going to get on there. We got to do our research on that. But anyway, Cam, Dallas, Texas. Let me tell you all about it. So flying in, I flew over a football stadium in the town of Allen, Texas, which is just north
Okay.
of Dallas. And this football stadium looked like a college stadium when I first flew over. And I looked, and I can't remember what their mascot was, but I had it painted in the end zone. Anyway, long story short, Cam, this stadium holds 72,000 people. Carter Finley Stadium, North Carolina State, is a Power 5 ACC school. They've been a 9-win team 3 out of the last 4 years. They hold less than 65, Cam. This stadium in Texas, and I found out they hold 75,000 people. Take a guess how much the stadium cost to build. I found out the exact number.
It's got to start with the B, right? It's a
Nope,
bill. It's a bill.
just less
No.
than a B. Just less than a B.
Okay. Well, I'll go $855 million.
$782 million, Cam. The exact number of what it costs to build that stadium. And apparently there's 4 of those stadiums within 10 miles of each other. So Dallas, Texas, if you want to know about the capital of Texas football, go 30 miles north of Dallas, Texas, and you'll see it. But Cam, that was the start. Second thing, I've never seen a Cybertruck before. And I want
Really?
to hear what your thoughts are on these. I saw 2 Cybertrucks when I was in Dallas riding around in
Yeah.
my I didn't tell you my I don't know if I told you about my rental car either. I got a Ram 1500 Bighorn as my rental car, which not a Ram guy. I would personally I would say that's equal to like maybe a Ford Ranger. I guess the Bighorn is equal to a Ford Ranger in regards to I'm a Ford guy. So no,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Nice truck, but I pulled up beside a Cybertruck, and if I was in my F-150, I would have big manned it a little bit, but in the Ram, I was struggling a little bit. But that was
Yeah,
that.
man.
Had some really good barbecue. Cam, I will say Texas has good barbecue. It does not beat my Eastern North Carolina barbecue, but their brisket beats any brisket I've ever had. So I will say that. And then I saw the Dallas Cowboys practice facility to wrap it up. So pretty cool time, Cam. Can't complain. If you ever get a chance to go to Dallas, Texas, pretty cool place to be.
Did you spit on the logo, or did you smack Jerry Jones upside the head, or what? Did you do
Did
anything?
not. I tried to pull into the parking deck and see if I could go in, but they had security guards and they had it blocked off. So
There you go.
I wanted to see what rookie minicamp was looking like. I couldn't tell you who the Cowboys drafted. Can't really remember. But I wanted to see how they were looking, Cam, and wasn't
No,
able to
no,
get in.
no press pass, no media
No
credentials.
press pass. Unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys, if it was the Washington Commanders, they would give the Fat Cats press passes, but of course the Dallas Cowboys are too big for their britches, and or the Fat Cats aren't cool enough for them. So it don't matter. I'll be the first one to say we do not support the Cowboys on this podcast anyway. So But
There you go.
Cam,
Speaking.
long story about me, my friend. Tell us about Topsail Beach, North Carolina. What's going on
Yeah,
down there?
man. Yeah, it's going good. I got me an Airbnb on the beach, which I
It looks
didn't know this.
beautiful. It
I
looks
didn't
it
know
looks
this.
calm back there. I'm surprised you're not out there drinking Coronas and have a wet in the line trying to catch a fish right now.
Well, outside of the golf course and this podcast right now, this is the only time my shirt's been on since I've got here.
That's what I'm talking about,
On
dude.
the
You deserve
course, and yeah, so I've been out on the beach a lot. I don't know if I've gotten any tanner, to be honest with you, but yeah, I love it here. It's very cool, very chill, which I like. I don't want to be around people all the time. But you're talking about Dodge Rams, man. I'm ready to call Topsail, North Carolina, the Dodge Ram capital of the world.
Yeah.
When I was driving here from Charlotte, I would say once you get to Topsail, every other driveway has a Dodge Ram sitting in it. There was a point I was turning left to go into Food Line to get some some paper towels, some TP, some garbage bags, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's 6 Dodge Rams lined up in a row. There's 2 in front of me, there's me, and then there's 4 behind me, or 3 behind me, whatever the math is. But dude, I legit think Topsail, North Carolina might be the Dodge Ram capital of the world. But
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. If you ask me what the Dodge Ram capital of the world is, I would assume Myrtle Beach. But I guess we'll take a gamble and say
I mean,
has money for their money.
I can get boots on the ground there in about an hour, and I can report back next week if you'd like me to. But yeah, Dodge Ram, great truck. 2017 Motor Trend Truck of the Year if they want to sponsor us. But yeah, super excited to get into this episode. We got first favorite and forgotten as we always do. Weekly game balls. We've got a question of the week, which is new. This is a big debate apparently, from what Ward's telling me. We got a lot of stories, NBA basketball, obviously some golf news. Store's got some good news, and then Pet Peeve of the Week is back. So, Ward, we like to start off every episode with something called First Favorite and Forgotten. Episode goes with the jersey number. So, with it being episode 56, whoever wore 56, first person that comes to mind, your favorite number 56, and somebody who is forgotten or doesn't get the respect they deserve. Ward, go ahead and tee us off, big dog.
Let's do it, brother. Cam, appreciate you passing the ball to me. And I will say, for anybody watching on Spotify, by the way, if anybody watches us on Spotify, I highly recommend we now, with a new update I was able to do, we now post our video on Spotify. So you're able to watch the boys live, argue, hot takes, give each other hugs live now. So which is pretty cool. But
and the good thing about that too is if you don't want the video, you can just turn your phone off and listen to it like a regular podcast. So there's no new things you need to do if you're used to regular Spotify.
If you ever watch Joe Rogan, we're very similar to Joe Rogan now, and we are coming for the #1 podcast on this earth. But anyway, Cam, and I wanted to say too, for anybody looking at my background, I am not at the beach. Unfortunately, I am in Johnson County, North Carolina, and I am recording this podcast from my desk. So anyway, I had to try to one up Cam and try to look cool. But anyway,
your beach does look better than mine. I will say, I'll be the first to tell you.
Man, but first number 56 that came to mind, Cam. If anybody have ever seen the movie Blindside and that beautiful blonde-headed woman by the name of Sandra Bullock doing some commentating there at the very beginning of the movie, my boy Joe Theismann, former Redskins legend / quarterback, did get his leg broke by a man, number 56, Lawrence Taylor, for the New York Giants. So kind of hard to forget that number, Cam.
Yeah, also famously a star in The Waterboy.
Yeah, and
Bobby Boucher. Stay off drugs, kids.
Don't do crap.
He's one to tell us. He's experienced, I'm sure. My first for number 56 here is going to be Cash Daniel. Now, a lot of you are probably saying, "Who the hell is Cash Daniel?" He's the highest rated recruit in 2015 out of the state of Kentucky. He's a 5-star linebacker. Stayed at his hometown school, home state school. Put on that blue and white for the Kentucky Wildcats. 3-year starter, 2-time captain. Never played in the NFL, but if you watch this guy, he cuts some great promos. He needs to be in the WWE. But Cash Daniel was the first guy that came to mind.
I love Cash Daniel back in the day too. He was one of my favorite linebackers. You know, when it was like junior, senior year of high school, he was a big show. And I always followed Cash Daniel, really liked him. And I thought he was trying to make a WWE appearance. Whatever happened with that?
So he was supposed to. I don't know what happened. And then obviously, if you guys know me, I love Kentucky Sports Radio. He, owner of KSR, owns a wrestling league. Tried to get Cash Daniel to do it. He didn't want to do it. word on the street is making plenty of money cutting commercials in Lexington. So
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't blame him.
I'm sure. And speaking of Lexington, Kentucky, and Big Blue Nation, Cam, I flew over when I was flying to Dallas. I flew over the state of Arkansas. There is not much in the state of Arkansas, my friend. I was just looking out the plane, and I didn't know where I was until I pulled up my phone on maps, and I zoom out, and it says I'm over the state of Arkansas. I'm like, what the hell is John Calipari doing, my friend? But
Can I tell a quick story on that real quick? I mean, totally off topic. John Calipari right now, if you don't know, he lived in a $4 million house in Lexington. That's up for sale now. He is living with his son in an apartment in Fayetteville, Arkansas, over top of a tin roof bar. A story came out about it. He said he has to put earplugs in every night so he can go to sleep.
Dude, so how true do you think that actually is, though?
He was quoted in the story.
Huh?
He was quoted in the story. Like that's a quote from him.
Interesting. Okay. I will have to see that one, Cam, because as much money as that guy has, I don't know if he'd be sleeping above a tin roof. But interesting though. But Cam, moving forward, favorite number 56, and Cam, I know you're probably not going to know who this guy is, but this guy was the linebacker of college or of NC State football before Peyton Wilson came around. Nate Irving was his name. He is a resident of Virginia, was a 4-year starter at NC State. He broke our single-season tackle for loss record. He led the team in tackles, ACC Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. Had a 10-year career in the NFL. I know he played for the Broncos at one point, played for the Seahawks at one point. And, not sure what he's doing now, but remember this guy growing up. He got drafted when we were in like 7th or 8th grade. So, pretty cool story. Nate Irving, Cam, favorite 56.
Love it. Also a first-team All-American his senior year. For those of you who think I don't know who Nate Irving is. My favorite number 56, and if you've been following, my draft talk and stuff throughout the years, which it's like 4 people in the world, Quentin Nelson is one of my favorite offensive linemen I've ever scouted. He came out of Notre Dame, wore 56 there, wears 56 for the Colts. He's one of the nastiest offensive linemen you'd ever watch. Reminds me of Richie Incognito if you're familiar with his game, but Quentin Nelson, a guy who I wanted to be like, who I wanted to play like coming out of high school. And he's going to be my favorite number 56 today. We're keeping it with the Hogs.
I love it, Cam. I love it, brother. Quentin Nelson, Colts legend. Can't go wrong with this guy. But anyway, Cam, moving forward, I've mentioned this guy like 10 times. I couldn't think of any other 56s off the top of my head. My good buddy Seth Williams wore 56 in high school. So if anybody forgot, Seth Williams wore 56 for Wake Forest High School.
There you go. Friend of the program. If you haven't watched it, Seth was actually on the show. I think our 4th or 5th episode, maybe. So go check out the episode with Seth as well. My forgotten today is going to be Lamar Woodley. Won a Super Bowl with the Steelers. He's an awesome edge rusher across from James Harrison. Again, won a Super Bowl. Is that Madison at the beach with you, Madison? What's up, man?
Hello, Fat Katz.
Yeah, I got my virtual background on. Come here, baby. Say hey. So hey, we're in our segment right now. First favorite forgotten. Who is the first number 56 that comes to mind when you think of number 56? What athlete first comes to mind?
None.
I said Nate Irving. Or no, I didn't say Nate Irving. I said Lawrence Taylor, but Nate Irving was my favorite. But anyway, Maddie, I will holler at you in a little bit. Those cookies look very good. Maddie brought me some cookies home, and she doesn't want to diet, but boy, I'm going to have to jump into those.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
You're good. Ward brings home the bacon, and Madison brings some cookies in return, man. That's how it goes. Lamar Woodley played for the Raiders for a little bit as well. Famously quoted as saying that the Ravens would never win a Super Bowl in his lifetime, and they won a Super Bowl the next year. Lamar Woodley is my forgotten. And as we move onward, weekly game balls going out. I've got 2, and it looks like you have 1, so I'll go ahead and go first. Alexander Usyk just beat Tyson Fury, who's probably the greatest heavyweight boxer of our lifetime. He beat him in a split decision over the weekend, and I thought it was cool, man. The first time Tyson Fury's ever gotten beat, and this guy's on the fast track to become one of the greatest boxers of all time.
And also, Cam, this was the first all-out, undisputed heavyweight championship since it's been like 35 years. I think it was Mike Tyson was the last one. But these were all belts because, boxing's interesting, and it's a little bit confusing at times because there's if you're looking at UFC, boxing has 5 UFCs, if that makes sense. So people will hold belts in different UFCs, so different, organizations. And yeah, so this was for all the marbles and pretty cool. But I did not watch this fight, Cam. Not sure if you did. I heard that Usyk pretty much stole the show and it was a big robbery for it being a split, but want to hear your thoughts on that if you watched it.
Yeah, I watched the back half of the fight, and Usyk was killing him. I don't know how the first part of the fight, but it seemed like everybody was surprised that it was a split.
Okay, interesting. Well, cool. Well, Cam, my game ball, man. Let's go ahead and jump into it. This was about a week ago. I think I can't remember if it was Thursday morning. There's
Friday morning. Friday morning.
Friday morning. Okay. There's a guy by the name of, not sure if anybody knows this guy, Scottie Scheffler, #1 golfer in the world, just won the Masters. He's won the Masters twice, by the way. He is American. He's 27 or 28 years old. Can't remember what. I know he just had a birthday. I believe he's 28 years old, and he has like a 6-month-old newborn, Cam. And not sure if this is a full plate / empty stomach for Scottie Scheffler and an empty stomach for the Louisville police. But this guy, Cam, was charged with a felony. I don't know have the exact charges at the front of my
It's a second degree assault.
Yeah, second-degree assault on a police officer, which, you read that, you're like, what the hell is going on? And then the day of, he gets arrested at 6 a.m. He somehow makes a tee time at 9:45. And then that afternoon, the Louisville Police Department makes a statement saying they are going to release the charges against Scottie Scheffler. Cam, you are a Kentucky man. What the hell is going on in Kentucky right now, Cam?
Well, if you know anything about Kentucky, you know that weird things happen in Louisville. This just added to the list. I've heard people say this is the biggest thing in Louisville history, and it's like, your basketball coach used to have sex at restaurants. Let's not push it that far. But weird situation. So from what I've seen, is Scottie was trying to get in to Valhalla, which is the golf course that the PGA Championship was at. One officer, they were doing like traffic duty, told him to go. And then a second officer told him to stop. And it sounded like he just went off the first officer and kept going. Apparently dragged him. Body cam was off. The funniest part of the story, though, is in the report, the officer wrote that Scottie Scheffler ruined his $80 pants and that he's also sued him for $80 for those pants. But the court date was supposed to be yesterday. It got pushed back. I can't believe that they're going to go through with this is what it seems like, is try to charge him with a felony. But just an odd situation in Louisville, and just add it to the board of weird stuff going on in that part of the state.
Yeah, man. And apparently, there was golfers that a pedestrian was struck and hit by a vehicle and died right outside of the entrance of the country club. And anyway, apparently golfers were parking their cars on the side of the road, because they have tee times to make, man. And at the end of the day, they're playing for $5 million. So they're not it's not me and you going out up here with a 6-pack of Miller Lite and going to hit golf balls. These guys are actually playing legit. And anyway, these guys were parking on the side of the road and walking 2 miles to get to the country club, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, man, curious to see what comes out of it. I know both parties have released statements, but curious to see if there's any money that is going to be owed or I'm just curious to see what happens out of it. But yeah, game ball. Well, I didn't even get into why he's my game ball. He got charged with a felony at 6 a.m. and then he came out and shot 6 under right after that. What a day that is. And he came out publicly and he said that he was stretching in his jail cell, and that was a first for him. I'm like, dude, that's kind of cool, man. Not gonna lie.
He got arrested at 6 a.m., got a police escort back to the course and shot 6 under. It's crazy. But yeah, Scottie Scheffler had a hell of a weekend, man. And I'm sure he's gonna be steering clear of Louisville for a long time.
Yeah.
Ward, have you ever had an $80 pair of pants? I've never bought an $80 pair of pants.
The most I've ever spent on pants was I bought a pair of American Eagle jeans, and they were about $40. I'm like, good God, these are expensive.
There you go. My second game ball is same PGA Championship. Xander Schauffele won his first major of his career. He's been right on the brink for so many times, and to finally finish it off, shout out Xander, who's quickly becoming a top 5 golfer in the world. But yeah, and Valhalla, as bad as the Scottie situation was, that PGA Championship was awesome. It came down to the very end. you had Bryson who made the birdie putt to tie Xander, and Xander goes and makes a birdie putt to win it. It was a very, very good PGA Championship. It's a shame that it'll probably never go back to Louisville or Valhalla because that course has produced some awesome champions.
Oh yeah, it has, dude.
Ward, I see here we've got a question of the week, which again is a new segment, and in parentheses you have big debate. I haven't heard about this. We haven't talked about it, so
yes,
go and lay it on me, big dog.
So let me go ahead and tell you about this, Cam. So anyway, I was listening to a podcast with Kirk Cousins on it the other day, and it's Kirk Cousins and a few former retired NFL players were talking about, pregame meal was obviously a big deal. It happens before every game. And a lot of the times with pregame meal, there's also pregame dessert, whether that's, brownies, cookies, like a lemon cake. Usually there's some type of dessert. And anyway, Kirk Cousins brings up a really good segment. Kirk Cousins has made over a shit ton of money for him and his family, generational money over the last 10 years or 12 years he's been in the league. And anyway, he was talking about Michigan State, where he was drafted from. Every game, they had pregame meal, pregame dessert. Washington Redskins, pregame meal, pregame dessert. Minnesota Vikings, pregame meal, pregame dessert. Atlanta Falcons, where he is now playing, or Raheem Morris is wanting to cut out pregame dessert. And this has been a big debacle over the players, Cam, because, a lot of things that NFL guys do are routines. Okay. And they get it. I personally had a routine when I was playing football. I did the same thing. I ate the same meal before every game. Or the night before every game. And I had the same thing what I would like to do day of. And anyway, a lot of those guys like to smash a brownie, or not really ice cream because they don't want to eat the dairy, but like cupcakes. You want to get a little bit of sugar in your system. But Cam, I wanted to ask you, because this was a debate going on back and forth. Does dessert belong in a pregame meal before a football game? Yes or no?
Yeah, and like you said, we're all creatures of habit. So these guys have been eating pregame dessert for years. Why would you change that up? At Butler, pregame dessert was only one game a year before the Independence game. So our currency, a lot of people were like, "Yo, let me get your brownie." And at Charleston, we had pregame dessert. At Butler, it was the roll. Everybody's asking for the roll, for the Texas Roadhouse roll. Everybody got 2 rolls, and everybody's trying to trade stuff for the rolls.
Interesting. Okay.
But before Independence, we got a T-bone steak, and we got dessert. It was usually a cupcake, like you said. It never really mattered to me as long as I got my pregame meal. Like, I didn't care what we ate or anything like that. When we got to Charleston, like, you just ate from the buffet. Like, they just made what they made on a normal day, and you just chose from that. So in high school, we got it catered. It was always Texas Roadhouse. So, I'm not really, I don't have a strong opinion, but my thing is, like I said, we're creatures of habit. If they eat pregame dessert, why would you take that away?
Yeah, I'm right with you. So I know high school, Cam, pregame dessert was huge. So, we had a group of like 10 team moms that worked with our team, and we would go to different.
Shout out to all the team moms, by the way.
Shout out to all the team moms. We would not be able to do this without you guys. But anyway, we would go to a different restaurant in town that would host us. We would eat a grilled chicken sandwich or something, some French fries or a salad. And then every team mom would personally bake a dessert. And they would walk around asking who wants to do. There was guys, we had some of our offensive linemen, not going to name any names. They would smash like 2 plates of dessert before a game. And I mean, of each, they would get a little part of each 10 desserts. But, and that was, dude, we won 45 games in a row in high school, Cam. So obviously that was working there. College, different story, did not work. Western did the same thing. They didn't have, we had pregame meal in the UC before every game, home game. And they had a cookie bar and a brownie bar. And don't get me wrong, they would get smashed. But we did not win many games. Don't get me wrong. Now they are. When we were there, they did not. But yeah, so pretty cool in regards to that. So I do think dessert belongs in pregame meal. Yes.
What's James Fry, high school James Fry, getting from the dessert tray?
I'm not even gonna lie. I cannot remember what Fry got. I was trying to think of this earlier. So it was weird, dude. Everybody is about routine. We had seating arrangements. It was usually position groups would all sit with each other. And so I didn't really see what he got. I know a couple of our other guys. I know Seth. I mentioned Seth earlier. Me and Seth used to smash dessert. A few of our other guys, Adam Hales. You know Adam Hales. Adam Hales used to smash his dessert before every game too. But and it was like a fight to see who could eat the most. It was weird, man. But yeah,
Keon, Keon Lozane, he played at
yeah.
NC State, played wideout. At Butler, he never ate pregame meal. His dad would drop him off Bojangles, and that was his pregame meal. And it worked out pretty well for
Yeah, it
him.
worked out
He's
well.
a 3-year starter at NC State. So,
Yeah.
But as we get into it, Ward, got some exciting news for the Steelers, and we can go past this really quick. But 2026, the draft is going to be in Pittsburgh.
Really cool.
It's going to be hard for me not to go to the draft that year unless the Steelers just don't have a pick. But yeah, Steelers getting the draft in 2026. Primani Bros might make record sales. So buy Primani Bros stocks now because that place will sell out.
I thought that was really cool for Pittsburgh. Can't remember. I know in our lifetime, I can't remember them ever having the draft. But really cool for them. So. Excited to see I'm excited to see where they do it. Very curious to see what part of downtown Pittsburgh they block off. And 2, yeah, Pittsburgh's such a badass city, and to bring that kind of money to that city will be pretty cool.
Yeah, so maybe Fat Katz live from the draft in Pittsburgh here in a couple of years. Talking about NBA real quick. So we got Celtics, Pacers, who played game 1 last night. We've got Mavs and T-Wolves in the Western Conference Finals playing tonight. Real quick, I just want to talk about the Wolves coming back from down 20 against Denver in Game 7 last week.
Yep.
That was awesome. A game where Anthony Edwards wasn't great. He's 6 for 24. Karl-Anthony Towns steps up, and like I said, they were down 20 at one point and come back and win the game by 8 points. So T-Wolves, man, that team is a fun team to watch. I'm starting to become a T-Wolves fan myself.
Hard to not jump on that bandwagon right now, Cam. I'm not going to lie. I did not watch this game. I watched the highlights of it. I know I bet the over. The over was 202 points. And I'm like, dude, these guys have to be blindfolded to not hit this. I mean, 100 points per team. They got to hit this, right? And of course, I throw $20 on it. And of course, that $20 has gone to the betting realm. It's in betting heaven now because it is not in my bank account anymore. But anyway, Cam, yeah, this one was very exciting to me. I want to, kind of jump in forward. I want to talk about the Celtics last night. I'm not sure if you watched the Pacers Celtics game. I watched a little bit of it. I was flipping back and forth. The start of the game, the Celtics were up 15. And then halftime, it was tied up. Third, fourth quarter, the Pacers were up by 12, 13, 14 points. And then the Celtics come back. Jaylen Brown, we talked so much shit about Jaylen Brown last year, signing that giant contract. Did some pump fake, ridiculous shot, goes in, ties the game. Pacers blow it in overtime. The Celtics stole game 1, Cam.
I don't even know if the Celtics stole it as much as the Pacers gave it away.
Yeah.
I've never seen. I was talking to Travis, who's a listener to the show and a Celtics fan. I was like, I've never seen a game go from, oh man, this is over, the Pacers have won, to oh my gosh, this is a tie game, to oh my gosh, this game is over, the Celtics have won so quick. I mean, you got the Halliburton turnovers. He had 2 turnovers in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the 3. Why do you not foul there, Ward? Rick Carlisle continues to do this. This is the 3rd time these playoffs he's been up 3, and a guy's come down and hit a 3 to tie a game.
Yeah.
You always tie or foul when you're down 3, man. What are we doing?
Yeah.
But it was an awesome game. It was an awesome game if you haven't watched it. Go back and watch the highlights for sure. And then the game I'm more interested in, T-Wolves taking on the Mavs tonight, which has all the makings to be a classic series. You've got Kyrie Irving trying to get back to the finals. And another cool thing about this playoffs, presumably Luka, Ant Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, or Jason Tatum are going to win their first finals MVP.
Yeah.
It feels like the passing of the torch in the NBA right now.
And it's just crazy to think too. I know you look at the 4 teams that are left, and you just imagine 2 of these teams going to be in the finals, and you're just like, wow, kind of crazy to think about, but
for sure, yeah. And for so long, we saw the league dominated by LeBron, and then it felt like the Nuggets were about to go on a kind of a run themselves to make themselves a dynasty, and obviously the Warriors did it for so long.
Even the East, dude, you got to think about it. I feel like the Heat have been the ones that kind of run stuff in the East the past couple of years. It just seems like they're in the NBA Finals or the Eastern Conference Finals every year, and it's the Celtics are. I don't know when's the last time the Celtics went to a finals. Cam went to
Uh,
finals.
2 years ago they played the Warriors in the
That's
finals.
right. They got beat. That's right.
But even like the Bucks, man, like you've got Giannis and Dame on the team, and they
know.
didn't make it out of the second round. So NBA, man, it's cool to see that these young superstars are finally kind of.
Yeah.
We've waited for so long for somebody to take it over. Now it feels like we've got 4 teams with 4 young superstars that are finally able to take the torch from the older guys.
Yep, which is really cool.
Ward, the Canes lost in Game 6. I'd like you. Hand up. I didn't watch it. I'm the biggest bandwagon Canes fan in America. I would like you to walk us through this Game 6
Yeah,
loss,
man. The boys were up 3-1 last Thursday night. We were up 3-1 going into the third period, and we blew it. I mean, I know it's been so long now. It was really fresh on my mind when I was wanting to talk about this now. Not really too much to say. Unfortunately, we lost, but yeah, man, playoff hockey, really fun to watch, and very excited to see what comes out of it. Very excited to see what comes out of it. But yeah, I think we lost Cam. Cam is frozen. I don't know if it's my connection or his connection. So I have the recording. So I will go ahead and keep rambling from my end. Yeah, so top stories going on, y'all. There's a few things. One, not sure if anybody saw, the NCAA dropped the new video game trailer for NCAA football. I guess it's going to be 25 is what they're calling it, which I don't know if anybody had any initial reactions to that. Pretty freaking cool, not going to lie. I know you look at some of the graphics, like they have back plates in it. They have rolled up jerseys in it. They have knees above knee, or they have knee pads above the knees, which is really cool. Apparently the gameplay is going to be a lot different than Madden. I'm just very interested to see what comes out of this in regards to, Madden has been extremely criticized over the past couple of years. So I just hope they don't screw this game up. I know a lot of people are really looking forward to it. I am one that is really looking forward to it. And I'm not even that big of a video game guy. I just love football and I love college football. So very excited to get into that. And then yeah, I have a segment for Cam here that I want Cam to get into when he comes back about the NCAA walk-ons. But yeah, so if anybody has any immediate reactions to this NCAA video game trailer, please holler at me because I'm very curious to hear about it. But yeah, moving forward, Cam's Wi-Fi did go out, so I'm going to be running solo from here on out. Next thing I want to cover, NASCAR fight. Anybody saw Kyle Busch wearing all the Lenovo stuff? Can't remember the guy's name that he fought, but yeah, they got into a big hoorah there at the end. Kyle Busch wrecked this guy, and it's very interesting to see this part of NASCAR, ladies and gentlemen. The NASCAR racers going at it and punching each other back and forth. If anybody has not seen that video yet, I highly recommend going to check it out. It is very cool. Cam, it is good to have you back, my friend. I was running over the NASCAR fight, and I want to hear your immediate reactions on this. And one, we lost you for a minute, brother. I thought you fell into the ocean and Jaws got you. What happened?
Yeah, dude, Wi-Fi just went out. I don't know what happened. I've had to join the guest Wi-Fi. So there's
call that Airbnb and raise and praise, my friend. You better get a free night stay for that one.
Well, there's a really good chance that this goes out again. So let's I apologize for that. But yeah, first of all, the NCAA football game, I'm super excited about. Already know what teams I'm going to build in my dynasty board. We got to figure out who's doing what teams in our dynasty.
NCAA,
there you go. The NASCAR fight. If you didn't watch it, I've never seen a fight in professional sports world that had better camera angles. Like there's like 6 different camera angles and they're all great.
Awesome.
I forget who was was it Stenhouse Jr. and Kyle Busch or Kyle Busch?
Yeah.
Kyle Busch just wrecked him in the All-Star race.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about in the fight. I was going to say Kyle Busch got his ass beat.
No, Stenhouse. To me, if you're Stenhouse, he was obviously going to punch him no matter what.
Yeah.
Why even talk to him? Just walk up to him and deck him. The whole talking thing, and then Kyle Busch is like, "You suck just as bad as me. Why are you mad?" The trash talking in NASCAR is not there. So just go up and punch.
As bad as who?
Kyle Busch is on his trailer and he's like, "I suck just as bad as you did today." And Stenhouse is like, I know that. It's like, what are you guys talking
Yeah.
about?
I don't know. The way I look at it, these are grown men, and grown men have common sense. Obviously, there's a hostile environment. Kyle Busch won. If you're in a hostile environment, do not let somebody get close to you. And if somebody comes within that realm, take them out. You at the end of the day, it's a kill or be killed world. And at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know if you'd rather kill or be killed, but I'd rather kill. That makes sense. So if somebody comes very, in your personal space, acting hostile at all, you got to take care of your business. So Kyle Busch will get my empty stomach of the week for that one. But Cam, I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, it was a good fight. It was a solid fight, I guess.
Interesting, dude. Love to see it in NASCAR. I love fighting in NASCAR, man.
I think it's Ricky Stenhouse. I might be saying this wrong. Ricky Stenhouse's dad, also Kyle Busch, got one off on him. He punched Ricky's dad.
Did
So
he?
I'm assuming that's Ricky Stenhouse Sr. But yeah, Kyle Busch punched his dad in the face. So and if you haven't watched the video, I'll try to post it. It was awesome.
Dude, Kyle Busch is OG in NASCAR too. You think about your OG guys, Casey Kane, Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson's not racing anymore, Jeff Gordon's not racing anymore. Kyle Busch has
Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle and Kurt have been doing this shit forever, man. So they're OGs. Everybody hates Kyle Busch, but you got to have a little bit of respect for him in regards to that.
Have you seen a guy in sports that just generationally, like every fan of that sport has hated him, like his entire career?
LeBron? No, not LeBron.
Like Bryce Harper, maybe.
Yeah,
like, I can't think of a guy. I can't think of anybody who just came in and was hated, and then their entire career just became more hateable.
I will say, I mean, I know Kobe is rest in peace, but when he was alive and playing, growing up, a lot of people in Raleigh did not like Kobe Bryant. I don't know if that'd be a good one to use or not. Everybody called him a ball hog, and a lot of people.
But I feel like by the end of his career, everybody liked Kobe though.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
not. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good quote. Maybe Bryce Harper. That's a really good. Alex Rodriguez. A lot of people hated Alex Rodriguez after the
True. That's a good one. He came in and was loved, and then by the end of his career, everybody hated him.
Everybody hated him.
That's a good one.
In regards to football, I can't think of anybody.
I mean, Brady was until he went to Tampa, and then people started liking him.
Yeah, but nobody had a reason not to like Brady, though.
Yeah. Besides, he was just a winner and a D-bag.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who.
I can't think. Rich Incognito, maybe.
That's what I was thinking because all the racist stuff that came out. But
I mean, I can't really.
Everybody liked Reggie Bush.
I mean, Randy Moss, maybe. People were hating on Randy Moss for a while.
Maybe
Antonio Brown.
Maybe Ray
once
Rice.
Once AB left.
Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, those guys. I guess once AB left Pittsburgh, we could go off that. But it's not like Kyle Busch. Right when he got good, everybody hated him, and then nobody's not hated him since.
Hey man, CTESPN.
Yeah, shout out and one of the best sources out there. First ballot Hall of Famer. He filed for bankruptcy a couple days ago, by the way.
No, he did not, did he?
Yeah, he's putting out a rap album though, so he'll be good. Shout out AB. Quick. Yeah. Real quick, we got some NCAA stuff. NCAA is having a lot of weird stuff going on. First of all, they're considering getting rid of walk-ons award. I don't know if you've seen this.
I have not seen that.
With the new NIL, I know Florida just took Kermani McClain, who was the #1 cornerback in the nation, went to Colorado, transferred. He's going to be a walk-on there, but they gave him the NIL money to cover his scholarship and tuition and everything. So NCAA is considering getting rid of walk-ons because of that, to get out of that loophole, because now you could have 95 scholarship guys just because of NIL collectives.
Yep.
So, and I know you were a walk-on, so and there's been plenty of walk-ons who have come in, paid their dues. JJ Watt, great example, become a starter. Like, what do you think? How does that affect?
Think about it, man. This is how a lot of these guys make names for themselves. Like, perfect example, Baker Mayfield was a walk-on at Texas A&M.
Two-time walk-on.
Two-time walk-on. I'm trying to think who else were big walk-ons off the top of my head. But there's 1,000. Obviously, JJ Watt is one. There's 1,000 walk, especially when you look at a lot of like the offensive, defensive linemen in the NFL, of guys that have come in and really just make names for themselves. Or what's his name? The wide receiver from New England. That Julian Edelman was a walk-on quarterback. It just I don't know. In regards to NIL is just messing everything up in regards to college football. So we'll see what they do out of that. They can't take walk-ons away though, dude. There's no way.
Yeah, I agree. Also, the NCAA. Well, this is not the NCAA. Jalen Rashada was a former 5-star quarterback. Went to Arizona State. Now at Georgia. He originally committed to play at Florida Ward for Billy Napier. He is filing a lawsuit against head coach Billy Napier and the University of Florida over NIL funds that were agreed upon and not delivered. He was told that he would get $1 million the day he signed with them. That money was not sent. He also signed a contract for $13 million in NIL that Florida never paid up. He ended up transferring or getting out of his national letter of intent, going to Arizona State. But the best part of the story is he's now at Georgia. He told Kirby Smart that he was going to go through with the lawsuit. Kirby Smart gave him his blessing.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So, first of all, if this is true, if they promised him and he signed a contract for $13 million, Billy Napier is screwed.
Yeah.
This is the cause when Florida fires him and doesn't give him a payout. But this happens a lot more, and this is going to, these lawsuits are going to come because so many schools are promising these guys this amount of money and not delivering.
Yeah. Cam, you give my honest opinion on it?
Let's hear it.
If I had to bet the house, I'm betting the house on University of Florida winning this lawsuit.
What's that?
I'll tell you the reason why. This kid is what, 18, 19 years old? University of Florida have been around since the 1800s. At the end of the day, legal concerns come down to one thing, and guess what that is? Money. Cam, you know how much money University of Florida has? They have
a lot.
FU money. They will be able to hire the best of the best attorneys. There is no way they're going to go down for this. Billy Napier, yeah, if they're wanting to get rid of him, this could be their excuse. I know they are wanting to get rid of him. This could possibly be an excuse to do it, but the University of Florida will not have anything come down on them because of this, because of, at the end of the day, it's all about money, my friend.
Yeah, and presumably they have $14 million laying around that they can throw to water.
Yeah.
So, and the last thing on the NCAA award, the SEC tournament for baseball just started, and you played baseball. I didn't really play that much.
Dude, what did you mean by the second first base? I didn't see that.
Yeah, so what they're doing is they've added a second first base. They have one, obviously, that the first baseman uses, the one that's always been around, and they put one directly across from it for plays at first base to apparently cut down on first baseline collisions. First of all, you played baseball. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, so
it's so weird to me.
The second first base, like I've played on double first bases in the past, but it's because like when I was a kid I did because softball uses 2 first bases. And very interesting. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Obviously, there's not that many collisions in regards to on the baseline. And 2, you got to think about the advantage that you're giving the fielders over the runners, because in that case, the fielders gonna be able to stretch an extra 2 feet out, stretching to catch the ball and to get on on bang bang ground ball plays. So yeah, I have not seen this. I'll have to look into it. Very interesting, and I think the SEC, it's kind of pointless, but that's my say on it.
And I talked to Novak about it, who's my baseball expert. He said, like you said, it's a problem that doesn't need fixed. My thing is, why are we implementing this during the SEC tournament? Why are we doing it in postseason play? Do this in a preseason tournament if you really want to test it out.
Test it out, exactly.
There's so many teams with so much on the line and so much at stake that right now it just doesn't make sense to confuse these guys even more or add another rule. But that's all we've got for today, Ward. I know we got Pet Peeve of the Week. Shout out Justin and everybody else who's commented. I know Billy Bash commented on a few things this week. Shout out to you guys again. Without you guys, we're just 2 guys with microphones. So,
absolutely. Appreciate all the support, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't have a pet peeve of the week. I'm at the beach. Besides, I'll say Airbnb's Wi-Fi going off is my pet peeve of the week. Ward, what's yours?
There you go, Cam. My pet peeve of the week is, when you're in airports, they have those things there in the middle that make you walk fast. They're like treadmills, but it's when people get on the fast walks and just stand there and don't move, and you have to get around them, because those things are fun to walk on. I will say, you're freaking moving on those things. But yeah, that's my pet peeve of the week, Cam.
There you go.
I
That
hope
was
you get your
episode.
Wi-Fi fixed too, because that's another pet peeve is Airbnb Wi-Fi. So get that shit fixed, man.
Yeah, I'm making a phone call right when we get off of here. Ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 56 of the Fat Katz Podcast. We appreciate all of you from the bottom of our hearts. Ward, pleasure as always, my friend.
Dude, Cam, I hope you have fun at the beach, brother. You get some well-deserved time off. Go hang out by the beach, drink you a couple Coronas. There's a really good Mexican restaurant I was telling you about. And I
Yep.
hope you go play some golf too, Big Dog. Hope you play some good golf too. So good to see you as always, brother. And I will talk to you probably tomorrow.
There you go.
Awesome. All right, brother.
Peace.
Peace.